Welcome in to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the only podcast on the Marshland Media Empire conglomeration, bodies of waters that form into the Great Lakes. I gotta be honest, I lost the metaphor on that one. That breaks down episode by episode, beat by beat, and sweat by sweat, Lucha Underground. We are on Season 3, Episode 23, Family First, and I am one of your hosts. My name is Sean. Hello. With me is yet another host. His name is James. James, hello.
Hello, Sean. With that windscreen you got there, just push it back a little bit instead of it being right on the microphone.
You know what?
Because there you go.
I'm also gonna raise it up so that I don't have to lean into my own microphone.
Well, no. So you see how mine, there's some space in between? Yeah, okay, because then it's not going to do anything if it's right on top of it, you know?
Okay. What if I insert the microphone into my mouth?
Okay, I thought you were going to go Gigi Allen style up your sphincter, baby.
No.
Technically, the mouth has a sphincter in it. It's any, little muscle that opens and closes.
James, you taught me this. I would never insert the microphone into my sphincter on the free feed.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Absolutely not. Come over to the Patreon.
I'll give you a couple extra sphincters with my knife. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because my knife is my bungee. It's owned by Microsoft.
It's the best ICP song. I'm glad you agree.
Still stabbing sucks. Stabbing people. That's where it's at. Amazing Jekyll Brothers, baby. This does relate to the show because we started as an ICP wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
And we will, of course, parlay into a wrestling ICP podcast because after this, we're going JC Dub.
Yeah. All things begin and end with the ICP, as they always have.
Well, you know, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. It would be the Fago, the Ned. No, it can't be. It's got to be single syllables, you know?
The Nedden was going to be one of them?
Yeah, the Fago, the Nedden, or I guess you could say the Nedden Ghost. Actually, that does work.
The Nedden Ghost?
Yes, the Fago, the something, the Nedden Ghost, because they, boy, oh boy, can only show proper romance to the undead.
They sure can.
So, hey, listeners, if you have something to slot in Juggalo-wise for that centerpiece, you know, let us know.
Let us know. Please let us know. We need answers. And we need to get into this parking lot, the Temple employee parking lot, which is where we start our episode this week.
What name is this episode?
Family First.
What season, what episode? Did you say that already?
Yes, I did. I say it at the beginning of every episode, but normally I double tap.
Okay, yeah. Do it to me, Lars.
Once again, breaks a block of ice over your belly.
Oh, please do it to me, Lars.
All right.
You're like, I'm never saying that again.
Again, ever. Season 3, Episode 23, Family First. And we start this episode in the Temple employee parking.
Oh, hell yeah.
As Fenix pulls up in his smoking hot muscle car.
Oh, that was Fenix. I thought that was a new dude because the Fenix's vibe has changed. I don't know what it is, but he is now a completely different character.
Confidence?
Yeah.
I almost want to say it's like a lot of it is just like he walks in, he's a cool guy and he knows he's a cool guy.
When my friends betray me, I mean, not really betray me, they get their minds polluted by some outside entity and then they're just like no longer wanting to be my friends. They're a completely different person. My reaction to that isn't like, yeah, I got that big dick energy. It's like, wow, my entire life is ruined and shattered. What do I do? What did I do wrong? What could I have done to prevent this?
And I don't know which is like better because do we think Fenix is pushing stuff down? Like he's not processing certain emotions regarding the betrayal
I hope
of
so.
his best friend?
Because what else would explain what's going on with him now?
He's just a really cool dude.
No. At first, I did think it was Drago pulling up in that sweet-ass ride. I was like, this is wild. And Drago's just like, yeah, man, I'm with Cobra Moon now, so yeah, of course I'm riding in this Firebird.
Fancy. Well, it's the same fire. I know. I recognized it because I remember the ending of season 1 when everyone took off in their cars and it looked like they did Twisted Metal in the off season.
Oh,
which
yeah.
was a really cool way to end a season.
Wrestling and Twisted Metal, they go hand in hand now.
Yeah. Samoa Joe season 2 comes out soon. Because the change sort of happened around the time they won the trios titles that Drago and Aerostar all got together.
Oh, I thought it happened now.
I feel like it's been like, as far as like Fénix kind of being just more confident, more of that like people pleaser type of like everyman baby face. I don't know though. Maybe he is like processing the betrayal of his best friend Drago in a really like not great way.
In a midlife, actually, this might be his midlife crisis, you know?
This might be his midlife. Yeah.
He's got another 2,000 years in him. So yeah, this is right in the middle.
Right there. In the middle of Fénix's midlife crisis, potentially. Ring announcer Melissa Santos shows up to say what's up and ask Fénix about the Cueto Cup. Just like a casual, what's up? How you doing, bud? How you feeling about this Cueto Cup coming up? And Fénix says, yeah, I plan on winning the whole thing. And Melissa's like, well, I'm going to bet on you. And then she does a flirty giggle with the tilt head down, then look up move. Oh, you know, when it's like, he, and then you look down, and then you look up, and you have the sultry eyes all of a sudden.
You do it to me all the time.
I know, but it's an audio medium, and I realized halfway through, I didn't explain this phenomenon that I was trying to get across.
Yeah, she's also like that new mom in the movie House, you know, how her hair, it's just her hair blowing in the wind.
Wait, the movie House with Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler?
No, that's The House. This is just House. The movie we discussed on a Patreon podcast.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, movie House.
I need to tell everyone, when I say, have you seen House? I am not talking about House MD. The only House I am talking about is 98% of the time the Japanese film House. The other 2% of the time is the horror movie House that came out, and it was very campy and jokey.
Okay. Thank you for telling us all. And God save our souls if we ever get any of the two mixed again.
Also, this solidifies that Fénix is going through a midlife crisis because he is now with a much younger woman, opposed to his previous love, which was Katrina.
Yes, but to be fair, Katrina is a lich.
Still much younger. But I wonder if, like, the precipice, like, you know, men are always trying to, like, cash in and trade out for a younger model. But if the model is, like, 6,000 years old, do men want that? Are they like, oh, no, man, we got to get that 6,000-year-old? I think they would.
But are they fetishizing 6,000-year-old women?
I think they might because, you know, men love... Midlife crisis men love whiskey, probably, and they're like, oh, yeah, this one's been aged to perfection. You can taste the brimstone in this case on this woman.
Okay.
And you know what? You know me. I love Satan shit. So, yeah, actually, Nicole's like, no, we previously would never do a throuple, but, yeah, we got to trade in for this 6,000-year-old model.
Okay.
Born within the Hellfires?
Yeah. Is that the whiskey or your new third wheel in your throuple?
Katrina.
Okay.
And the whiskey she's bringing with because, like, she visits her family down there.
Born within the Hellfires branded whiskey.
Hell yeah, dude. Or I guess it's Hellboy's Fireball whiskey that they actually put out, and Nicole has a bottle of it.
Oh, wait. Nice. I think.
Yeah.
Is that nice?
The comic book store got it, and the owner was like, yeah, just put it on eBay. And Nicole's like, no. And he's like, why? And she's like, have you not read the terms of eBay seller agreement? You can't sell alcohol. And he's like, oh, I guess we could just dump it out. And she's like, no, I want to drink this someday.
Those are the two options. It's eBay or dump it out. And then Nicole's like, wait, I have a third. I'll take it. What a noble sacrifice.
But yeah, that's all the notes I think on... Oh, wait, no, there is one more thing that happens in this segment.
Yeah, so Phoenix says, okay, then I will win for you. They walk off. Melissa and Phoenix are a bit of an item. And the camera pans over to Marty the Moth Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
Being a little creep, hiding and watching from the shadows before putting his head through a window and giggling to himself.
Marty the Moth, more like Marty the Mad. Next thing we know, he's going to be introducing bad movies to like Joel and Gang.
Oh my gosh. Yes, he will. Mystery Science Theater style.
The Mads.
Yeah, I forgot everyththing about. I wanted to reference the show and help you, and then I realized I didn't remember a single detail of that television show.
I tried getting in Muskegon, a club together to just once a week we watch an episode and try and get through every single episode, but it fell apart before it even started.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You want to start this club once a week? We watch a Mystery Science Theater.
I mean, that's kind of like, in a way, what we do now. Though we don't watch a Mystery Science Theater, we are a Mystery Science Theater.
Oh, dang. That's like we're a haunted house in this mind palace that is our brain.
Thank you, Whitney Cummings.
For nothing.
For absolutely nothing.
Except two broke girls. Why not?
Sure.
But that was a collective, America would have eventually been like, hey, two broke girls, that's a thing. We didn't need Whitney Cummings. It just got to us sooner because of Whitney Cumming.
Yeah, America eventually would have gone, hey, Kat Dennings isn't in anything. Why isn't Kat Dennings in anything right now? Put Kat Dennings in something, Charles. And then Charles would have had to put Kat Dennings in something.
And then Martin Lawrence is pissed. He's like, dang it. I had her lined up for Big Mama's House 2. I mean, 3.
Oh, okay.
She was in Big Mama House 2, and that ruled. There was that kid that kept eating Brillo pads. One of the funniest jokes in any movie is just one of the kids that Big Mama is babysitting eats Brillo pads, so they have to keep him away from them.
Great.
Guys, watch Big Mama's House 2. I think it's the second one.
Okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You get to watch more Kat Dennings and children eating Brillo pads. This is what Citizen Kane, when he was just baby Kane, lying in his bed thinking of, oh, one day I'll be the greatest film of all time. But will I be able to contain Brillo pad eating children and Kat Dennings? And we got there. Maybe not with Citizen Kane, but with Big Mama's House 2.
See, here's how I can say Big Mama's House 2 is good. Chloe Grace Moretz is in it. And before, recently, I would say every movie she's in fucking rips. So that's a stamp of approval. Go check this out, baby.
Yeah. And go check out The Desk, which is where we go to after that parking lot scene. Is Vampiro and Matt Stryker are there? Vampiro says, don't blink and don't touch that dial. As a matter of fact, the drinking game starts now. I didn't know there was a drinking game.
Gulp, gulp.
The Cueto Cup tournament continues tonight. Winners last week were Tejano, the Mac, Drago, and Pentagon Dark. And the Cueto Cup is, again, a 32-person tournament. The winner of the tournament, single elimination, goes on to fight for the Lucha Underground Championship at Ultima Lucha 3. We have another first-round match tonight. It is Vinny Massaro versus Cage.
They showed the bracket for this, and I was like, Masquerita versus Pendar. And I was like, come on, guys, this is such a gimmick play. But I forgot that it's Vibora who is Luchasaurus. I thought that was the matchup. So I was like, oh, come on, guys, really? But no, it's Pendar is a completely different person.
Pendar is a completely different person, but also a very meaty, large reptile.
Yeah, but not, a giant.
Not a full, well, he's pretty, because I think he's wider than Vibora.
I mean, maybe, but I think if you took the surface area, by square inches, or you want to know what? Hey, our every single other country out in the world listeners, centimeters squared.
Thank you. Wow.
Square centimeters. Wow. Let's see who really is the larger man.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
Hey, Sean, we were trying to think hey, what could we do for a Patreon episode? You should come over and let's see if my thighs are bigger than your head.
All right, let's not do that.
No, we just take a tape measure. We could use 2 different tape measures. I know Nicole's head is smaller than my thighs now.
I just don't want you to have that information about me.
Okay, I'll get it out of you. I'll be like, you'll go in for a fitting for an acting role, and the haberdasher will be there. You know, they'll say, "Oh yeah, you have such a nice head here," and they'll be talking exactly like that. You'll find out soon. Oh yeah,
as all haberdashers speak. Yes, of course.
Oh yeah. Oh, take off your headphones real quick. I need the proper circumference, or the hat will be loose on your newsy outfit. All right, here we go. Okay, awesome. And then I whip off my fake disguise, Tom Cruise style, in what's the name of that movie? Cocktail. And then I say, "Ha ha! You have a small head comparatively to my thigh."
Wow. Well, congratulations on your haberdashery career, first of all. That's huge.
I mean, not a congrats to me, kind of like an apology to the haberdasher that I tied up and threw into a broom closet.
Oh, is he still breathing?
Yeah, he's breathing. Yeah, I didn't do anything. It's not like I ripped off his face. I just made a mold of his face.
I hate to ask, but you have to understand why I would ask.
No, I'm not a violent man.
You did just kidnap a haberdasher in his own haberdashery.
No, well, this is on set. It's not like his dominion. We would have to go to, like, I don't know, Boys Town for his haberdashery.
Well, congratulations regardless, but you're on thin ice.
The thinnest, you know?
Yeah, okay, yeah. And Vinny Massaro is on thin ice with life. As he pulled into a match against Cage tonight.
I wrote down, Nicole was watching this with me, and she had some words about Stryker's commentary. She loved it in a sense, but I wrote down, wow, wonder who's going to win. The literal giant behemoth with an iron gauntlet glove, or the man with pizza stains on his shirt. Who knows?
Hey now. Vinny Massaro doesn't just have pizza stains on his shirt. He also has little holes towards the bottom. So he's got stuff going on.
There's a Stryker call. This is the one that Nicole loved. Stryker goes, "Oh yes, when the battle is between the strength, the cunning, the tenacity of Cage, the machine, or the grease?" And then kind of just does a shrug. It's not the grease of Vinny Massaro. He just says the grease.
Yeah, it's my new favorite Marvel comic.
Oh, dang, that would be really good. The grease.
The Grease? Joining the Fantastic Four this September? The Grease?
Christmas, guys. Comet accurate, not just the Thing, but Jack Kirby style of The Grease will be in Fantastic Four, the first family.
Yes, you heard it here first. The bell rings. Vinny talks some shit while poking Cage in the chest before slapping him in the face, which is crazy.
Ooh.
Cage, by the way, is unperturbed.
No.
And runs through Vinny.
Perturbed he is not.
Not for an ounce. I also forgot to mention, I think this is the first time we've seen Cage take off the gauntlet.
Yeah, maybe.
Answers a question for me. Will Cage wrestle wearing the gauntlet?
And the answer is?
Nah, baby. He's got to get his hands on you.
Thank you for clarifying, sir.
Hey, thank Cage.
The vibe in this room is making me feel like, are we even doing this podcast? Because it feels very warm in here. The sun's shining. That might be the issue. Sun is shining into the window. It just feels like, are we together, Sean?
Yeah, I think so. Do you want me to block out the sun for you?
Please, Mr. Burns, this shit.
Absolutely.
When I worked at my last corporate job, all the other managers were like, James, you throw shade more than anyone else. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then when they explained it, I was like, oh, like that's just me roasting people. Like it's not me throwing shade. And they're like, that is the definition of throwing shade. So whenever I would throw shade at people, you know, comically how I do it, people started sending that gif of Mr. Burns putting the big ol' disc over Springfield to block out the sun.
Hell yeah.
It was always towards like corporate management. That's who I was throwing shade at.
Yeah, and everybody loves being compared to Mr. Burns.
Yes, please, in this instance. He also knows how to make a nice coat.
He also,
Sean,
yes.
do you forget what he makes coats out of?
No, I remember okay, here's what had happened. No, the See My Vest song is still one of television's greatest spontaneous musical numbers ever. What happened with my brain was I was trying to find a way to make I got lost in the computer gag from The Simpsons, Smithers' computer, which is just like a picture of naked Mr. Burns going, Mr. Smithers, you know how to turn me on. And my brain was just playing that on repeat for a while. And then I came to, and I was hosting a podcast.
So when I bring up, it happens often, I guess, when I start talking about like dogs being abused, you just start thinking of the smuttiest thing you can think of to go to your happy place.
Yeah, I do.
I told you my manager was like, oh, come over, but I know you hate dogs. I was like, what? No, I don't hate dogs. So that's becoming my personality. I don't hate dogs, guys. They just overwhelm me sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes they need to be put into a little cage that gets smaller and smaller, scaring the dogs into behaving.
But let's talk about a cage who keeps getting bigger and swoller.
Hell yeah, Big Lariat knocks Vinny on his ass. Finger to the eye almost disrupts Cage, but he recovers to urinagi Vinny on the apron.
Ooh, to urine on him too.
Not yet. Not until after. You can't urine on your opponents until after the match. Otherwise, you make a mess.
Yeah, that's... say what you will about Lucha Underground. Yeah, it's great, but at least GCW will let you pee-pee in the middle of the match.
You know what? If we ever do get a wrestlers union, I think that's the first thing they argue for.
Uh-huh.
Healthcare, covered travel, fair wages, bah. I need to be able to pee on my opponent at any time between the ropes.
This is also a health issue because having a full bladder in the match, someone punches you in the wrong way, your bladder burst, that's more money for the insurance company, and that's going to reflect on the wrestling company. It's wiser to just let your workers pee in the middle of the ring, so then you're not having to accrue these huge expenses with medicals.
Yeah. James, you have to know I'm in my happy place right now and was not here for that.
Hell yeah, Mr. Smithers is getting off right now.
You know it.
But not getting off his computer.
Vinny sneaks his way into an opportunity by hanging Cage's throat on the top rope. He comes back in the ring, throws another lariat. It bounces off of Cage. Like just unmoved.
Oh yeah.
The entire match is kind of like Vinny might try a little like underhanded tactic, a ticket to a tactic, like a thumb to the eyes or like, kind of like a guillotine spot on the top rope. And then Cage doesn't move because he's Cage.
He's a machine.
He's the machine. He finally does he puts a string together eventually, finally knocks Cage down with an STO. And then Vinny notices Cage's gauntlet just hanging out in the corner, not doing anything. So he goes ahead and picks it up. He lifts it over his head. He goes for the big swing using the gauntlet. However, Cage ducks, beats him into a corner a little bit. Then Drow Claw seal the victory for Cage, who wins the match in 3 minutes and 29 seconds.
So here's some of my stuff. Vinny sees the gauntlet. And I wrote down, I'm writing gauntlet too much. It's not like I'm in an arcade in 1998 playing Gauntlet on Dreamcast or whatever. But
that's how I take my notes, actually. I watch the episode in the background of while I'm at the arcade playing some old school Gauntlet, baby, and I find a turkey in a hole in a wall.
I had a friend who lived a few blocks down. He had a Dreamcast and he had Gauntlet for it, like the updated Gauntlet. Nice. I wanted to go over there so bad, but I never did. Don't know what happened. But he sees the gauntlet as Cage is, removing his little straps from his singlet. And guys, the LL Cool C, ladies love Cool Cage, because the women in the crowd are just like, oh my God, loved it. And then Vinny picks it up and I was like, that's not going to go well. Cage is going to be like, I don't know you. That's my gauntlet. And guys, that's what he kicks him in the dick. Like, that's what you didn't mention is like, there is a literal, like, that's my purse. I don't know you. And he kicks him in the dick.
I thought he kicked him in the gut.
No, it was okay. It was the upper thigh, lower gut.
Damn, I didn't see it. All right. Well,
that's my purse.
If I didn't see it, referee didn't see it, Cage gets away with it. After the match, he puts the gauntlet on proper and then just punches Vinny to shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, eventually cutting open his forehead. Vinny tries to escape by crawling out of the ring. Cage instead catches him one last time for a choke slam, using the gauntlet hand off of the apron right to the floor.
Hell yeah. And last episode, we were trying to figure out, who's going to win this? And it's going to be Cage, right?
Cage, probably. Like, he has a powerful new gauntlet that is giving him power, but probably sucking his soul.
Like, this is the storyline. He's the only other person really with a concrete storyline that's christening him to be a deity.
Well, okay, he's the only one to have a storyline christening him to be a deity. But we do have Fénix with a midlife crisis storyline.
Oh, yeah.
Which is christening him to, who knows?
Date Cage's wife IRL?
Date Cage's wife IRL?
I guess Cage's IRL wife, that's, you should put those where it needs to go, James.
Sure,
Because I didn't like this. I was like, no, she's so in love with Cage. I don't buy this. This feels yucky.
Yeah, though I don't think they've done anything for, like, just us being giddy little gossipers and watching this TV series 10 years later being like, they love each other, but they can't show it because their characters haven't said they love each other on TV yet. But we know.
It's a classic Romeo and Juliet,
They are very cute together.
Yeah, guys, go watch them kiss or something if it's available anywhere.
I don't. Okay.
That's going to be your new Mr. Smithers. I start talking about a dog being domed, and you're like, all right, it's Cage and Melissa. They're kissing.
Yeah.
Not because it's sexual, just because it, like, puts you at ease when it comes to my vileness.
And my cup of chamomile tea is old Snopes pictures of Brian Cage and Melissa Santos kissing on a beach.
Snopes is like, hey, are these two dating? And they're like, this is factual.
I think I meant to say TMZ instead.
Okay,
you know what?
You put Snopes. No, it's Snopes now.
It is Snopes. Yeah. Good for you, Snopes.
Just how TMZ became a legitimate news source, Snopes is going to be a legitimate celebrity rag.
Yeah, Snopes has slid.
Uh-huh.
Exterior day, we are on Boyle Avenue with another professional sports promo package. I like these.
Same.
The announcer voice says Rey Mysterio has been wrestling and wearing this mask since he was 14 years old. For context, Rey's like 41 here.
Dang, he's always, I guess, like even as a kid, like he had the same sized head. Wonder if it's as big as my thigh.
Go ask him to measure it. This is the only way. Rey is sitting next to a mural of himself in an alley. He says the mask doesn't mean he's hiding something. In fact, he's got nothing to hide. If you want to fight, he's right here. Which is a baller thing to say next to a mural of your own face.
Yeah.
Especially when he looks back to the mural and says, I'm easy to find.
The only thing that would have made this more baller is if he was on like Instagram posting it with his like geotag.
And he just like, and that's the last thing he says before he goes off, before he cuts off the live is, I'm easy to find. Oh.
Uh-huh. I think he is hiding something because I think underneath that mask, it might be RFK Jr. They sound sort of similar, but like.
I hate this. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Not as
extreme, but he has to put on a voice so people don't know that he's secretly RFK Jr.
This might be one of the coolest, most inspiring things I've ever seen in wrestling. Is Rey Mysterio sitting in front of this mural, accepting who he is, the power he has as the legend that he is. It's easy to find me. I'm not hiding. Meanwhile, James comes in and calls him RFK Jr.
Uh-huh. He'd be so good at the street fight matches, Because he works out in jeans already. Damn, dude. Confirmed? Rey Mysterio is RFK Jr.?
Absolutely not.
It makes sense. Like
it makes sense.
Hold on. It would make sense that hey, he's going to be in the presidential cabinet. Who else is within that White House? Also a former member of WWE, a former owner of Raw. Remember?
Linda McMahon.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I was talking about the president.
Oh God. Yeah.
Hall of Famer, right?
Hall of Famer.
Man,
Yep.
an Insane Clown Posse isn't in that hall. Guess what, guys? That hall is crumbling.
Yeah. Your hall about to fall if you don't put in the ICP. Johnny's segment is different, by the way. So you know, Ray is like jogging through the streets. He's meeting people, giving the high fives. We cut to Johnny absorbing kendo stick strikes from Ricky Mandel while Taya is filming it, telling him no pain over and over again.
And Nicole goes, man, I didn't know this show was so horny. These little perverts.
Incredibly horny, incredibly perverted. His sit down, he talks about being the best while dressed like the most bad guy you could be. I love Johnny's outfits. Just like, yeah, it's like a cowboy western, but set today, and he's from Los Angeles. Like just so clearly the bad guy here.
Man, maybe he's like Ronald Reagan then.
In that he's clearly the bad guy?
No, I mean, yes, but also from L.A., but tries to be a cowboy?
Yeah. It will be Legacy versus Legend. Dario Cueto presents Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Johnny Mundo.
Woo!
Nice. We have another Cueto Cup round 1 match. Marty the Moth Martinez versus Saltador.
Now, this match is in TV 14. It's not TVMA. It's TVMDMA, okay?
Wow, good joke. Way to go, Matt Stryker. The odd versus the weird, as Saltador's entrance includes jumping through the ropes just to roll out the other side. This is an interesting match. I like this match a lot. Bell rings. Saltador, I think this is the first time we're seeing Saltador wrestle one-on-one. He is a member of the Rabbit Tribe, which are the cool, drugged-out hippies of the temple. They have arrived very recently. They're all very strange. We've seen Mala Suerte wrestle already in his first round match. I believe he lost to Tejano.
I believe so.
This will be Saltador's debut. Yeah, it's just he's wearing, I don't know if we ever covered, he's wearing a full body suit, so you can't see any of his skin. It's just a checker, like a black and white checkered pattern.
Wait, I thought that was his skin.
I don't think it's his skin because I'm pretty sure it matches his trunks. So if it was his skin, he would be naked.
Well, you can wear flesh-colored underwear.
I'm pretty sure he would just be naked because I think it goes into it's all one thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll trust you on this one.
Yeah. Like we have to have some rules in the temple. No wrestling naked has to be one of them.
But once we get that union, it'd just be more safe if people were naked when they wrestled.
Of course, that's what the union is there for.
Because then you don't have to worry about your zipper when you whip it out to pee.
They don't wear zippers. Wait a minute. Well, here's the hard thing. The hard thing about it is, like, I can't say they don't wear zippers. There are some wrestlers that have zippers in their gear. Gear comes in a wide variety of flavors, but very few have zippers.
Okay, well, the ones that do have zippers, you might zip it up.
That's true. That's a safety hazard.
See, if people could start peeing in the middle of the ring, death match would be a new thing, because then people would be like, I'm gonna zip up your your scrotum, fucker. And then, a cheese grater's fine, Sean, huh?
A cheese grater is better than there's something about Mary spot. Yeah.
All right.
If I had to choose between a cheese grater spot or a something about Mary spot where you zip someone's testicles into their zipper, I'm going with the cheese grater every time.
Or what about something about Mary's spot? You kind of just stalk a woman? Marty's doing it.
Marty is doing that, but we're not there yet.
Okay, dang it. I mean, technically, he was doing it in the beginning. We have gotten there.
He's been doing it the whole time. The bell rings, the two eye each other, and the crowd start chanting, "This is weird. This is weird." After experimenting opening holds, which is the only way I can sort of describe it, like they don't jump into a lockup. They sort of experiment around for a second until Saltador offers his own wrist in a hammer lock. And Marty accepts. Marty just takes the wrist. A beautiful exchange of wrist holds. Shouts out to Johnny Saint and catch can that style. Until Marty starts biting, which is going to be indicative of the match. Saltador has a lot of really fancy tricks, but Marty is going to start biting. It's like he's going for
I was going to bring up, they both like experimenting, so that was a good sense of the word. One experiments with drugs, the other clearly experiments with their sister's body.
Oh God, no, I hate
God,
it.
I cannot wait till we get to the next segment.
All right, let me try to move through this. This might be my favorite match, but that's because I enjoy Soltador. I really like this style of wrestling. The sort of catch as catch can, and part of it's like a catch as catch can counter style. The other part of it is I'm just too weird that I'm in your head, bro. Like I don't know. I like that chess game.
It's like Hey Arnold when he went crazy.
Don't hit me, I'll hit me. Yeah.
Don't hit me, I'm an armadillo. That was your style.
Yep. When Marty starts biting the fingers, that's when Saltador has to go to the ropes. But he doesn't go to the ropes. I'm blowing past it because it's weird. Marty starts biting the fingers. Saltador walks Marty to the apron and then walks himself back in, but stops halfway so he could put a key lock on him in the ropes. And really, you see it, it's a mean arm. It is a mean key lock. He's trying to break Marty's arm. And it's like, you were a cute little funny guy a second ago. Ow, what the fuck? It's Marty, who's so used to pain and does enjoy pain, is the source of his power. It turns him on, as Vampiro says. It's still funny to see him kind of get oh, but you're just batshit crazy. Man in the checkered bodysuit. It's an interesting matchup. I like it.
I would liken it more towards if you're starting to have a bad trip, you should try and destroy that dragon with all your might. Marty is the personification of a bad trip. So you're like, oh yeah, he needs to just get out of here. I need to go back to feeling good.
Yeah, I don't think Saltador understands that, though. I feel like Saltador plays with his food a little bit in this match. He's learning that, but I think he gets that in spurts. Marty starts biting the fingers, that's a bad trip. Oh, let me get out of here. But then he goes back to playing with his food a little bit, and it costs him because Marty is a tough son of a bitch. Eventually, Marty rolls out of the ring. Saltador tries to fly. Marty catches him, powerbomb to the upper barricade before looking back to Melissa and hey, you see that? You like that? And Melissa's like, no, ew. Rolls Saltador back into the ring. Marty has to dig to find Saltador's mouth before grabbing him by the upper jaw and dragging him around the ring, which is just gross. Tilt-a-whirl gutbuster for 2. Salty's given some life by the fans. They're clapping in unison. This is seen by him humping the air in rhythm with the fans clapping.
Oh yeah,
we're getting back into this.
I do that as a workout.
Yeah, it's a good workout.
I do a 1,200 of those now.
Yeah, when you stretch, we all love to sort of collapse the spine, but are you also expanding the spine? Are you getting that arc in there? Are you hitting your bridges? Are you humping from the ground while the audience claps for you?
Nicole hates it when I do it.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe you shouldn't do it.
She says it shakes the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then you probably shouldn't do it.
No, it's fine. I gotta get these butt muscles good, baby.
You're gonna butt muscle your way into a hole in the ground if you keep on shaking the house like that.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna butt muscle a hole into me, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't.
I felt so when I feel my butt to be has it grown anymore? I'm oh yeah, it really hasn't. But then once I kind of felt it from the middle a little bit while I was showering to be hey, I'm cleaning. I was whoa, holy shit. If you got a little peepee, you could not get into this. That's how thick my ass is now.
Wow. Well, if you, when you have to transition back into the episode, but you don't want to.
Well, you do this. You say, well, speaking of little peepees, we know Marty doesn't have one because we saw his pube mound once.
Wow. Thank you, James. Thank you for doing all the heavy lifting for me.
And you can tell someone's penis size by the size and the accoutrement of their pube mound.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Have you seen Scary Movie real quick? Scary Movie
James,
2, I should say.
What are you doing to me?
I need to say something.
To me?
We were watching Scary Movie 2, and when Chris Elliott's preparing the meals for everyone?
Uh-huh.
And everyone's like, oh, what? Huh? What's going on? After that scene, Nicole goes, this is what it's like when people first meet you. And I'm like, that might be rude to say, okay?
But it's not inaccurate.
Dang it. I thought you would be on my side, Sean.
Absolutely not.
All right. Move on.
I'm so sorry, but when the transition you gave to me was Marty's pubis mound?
Yeah.
Absolutely not on your side.
Okay, well, you either you're on my side or you're against me.
Yeah, well, no, because the reason I'm not on your side and I am against you is because this is the transition you've left me. Well, no, James, I'm on Marty's pubis mound as we get back into this match. That's the transition you left me, James, okay?
And, hey, it's easy to
Enemy
be on
for
that
life.
mound because it's so voluptuous
So voluptuous.
and voluminous.
Marty stands back up trying to recalibrate. Saltador gets a sneaky roll-up for 2. We see this fundamental difference in their styles around this point where Marty is violent and strong and is crazy. Saltador is very wiry and technical and is crazy. It's a lot of like, you can't block this move because you don't see it coming from Saltador versus Marty, who's, you can block this move all you want. I'm just going to keep doing it over and over. I'm going to run into this brick wall until it falls over.
Hell yeah, he's like Wile E. Coyote, baby.
Yeah. Well, like Saltador is a little roadrunner. He's like, no, I'm going to paint a beautiful mural of a park on the wall, and then I'll walk into the park instead.
Yeah, he's walking into it. No one else is because he is tripping balls.
Yeah, yes. And I love him. The crowd, by the way, as the match goes on, they keep they're chanting checkers. They're getting behind him, but they did forget his name. But they are chanting checkers throughout, and it's cool. It's always cool to see the fans maybe not know someone initially or not like totally be on board with them, and then as the match goes on, be like, oh fuck it, this guy is awesome. Salty's feeling it. The crowd's firing him up. He's getting fired up. He's shaking the rope. Then he starts dancing. Okay, now he's kind of lost. All right, he's back. He is feeling it. He turns around. He faces Marty, who kicks him in the gut because that took a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Double underhook, lifts Salty on his shoulders before driving him into his knees, and Marty wins in 7 minutes and 24 seconds.
I don't know why Vampiro said it, but he says like something about I can't even say the word now. Vampiro says esophagus, and I'm like, that's not how you say that word, sir.
I didn't even catch that. Esophagus, but
Yeah.
like he added an X to it.
Yeah, and
shit.
a gus.
X cough. So a gus that you so either a Gus that used to cough but no longer.
Yep.
He's taking the Vicks Vaporub, or it's an esophagus, but it's an extreme esophagus. The esophagus.
Degeneration.
Coming in store.
Sean,
Yes.
this might be a Twitch stream idea.
Okay.
I was saying like, hey, Nicole, I did the DX chops, and Nicole's like, no one can, well, this is a medium of audio. And I was like, just like you can hear a smile in audio recording, you can tell when someone's doing the DX chops. So I want...
It's in their voice.
Yeah, I want to do a stream where I show you pictures of Degeneration X, just their faces, and say, were they doing the chops in this photo or they were not?
It's going to be a 3-hour stream.
Because there's so much to go off from.
Oh my gosh, the possibilities are endless. We cut to some funky, fuzzy lighting in the temple gym as Masquerita Sagrada is pumping weights, and we hear feet pattering along grass distantly as Paul London and Mala Suerte, the other two members of the White Rabbit tribe, are here to praise their king. This was, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago when they finally got to the temple. They meet Masquerita Sagrada, and they're like, damn. You're our god. Dude, did you know you're our god? Sagrada once again tells these losers to kick bricks and walks away, as Paul London calls him divinity personified.
That's exactly what I say when I see Butter just standing, then out of nowhere, she just licks her upper lip like a little goofball, and I say, that's divinity personified.
Hell yeah. Well, we also got creeperdom personified, as we cut over to, I don't know how else to label this, Marty's stalker room.
Dude, you called it. Back in maybe season 1, you said Marty, I guess it would be season 2, Marty, I feel like, will eventually become a serial killer. And he did say, Martin, in a comment, said like, yeah, you're not very far off. You'll see.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is when he starts to become very serial killer.
Very serial killer. Because the other thing about this room, it only has one overhead lamp, and it's too low, so that Marty has to grip it he has to take the lamp in his hand and then just shine everything, but from underneath. So like he shines the light on himself, but it's underneath his chin. he goes over to a wall that is covered in pictures of Melissa Santos. And he shows it with a low angle.
I heard all those photographs were just from Cage's phone because he loves his wife so much.
It's so sweet. Like, hey, I hear you're stalking my wife. No, it's good for the show. Let me just give you some pictures. Oh, thanks, Cage.
I gotta see when they started dating. You keep going.
I think we looked this up, and it was like around this. It was like when this show was going on.
Okay,
but you go ahead. You can feel free to look that up as I reminisce on the Marty pining to his wall, covered in pictures of Melissa Santos, just really expositing himself and his love for her as he pulls out a new picture crumpled up in the front of his wrestling trunks. So he has to, and like anytime he has to like reach into his trunks, which he does a couple of times in this scene. Spoiler alerts. Marty reaches into his trunks a couple of times in this scene. But anytime he does, he roots around. You know what I mean? He takes his time while he's in there.
They started dating in 2016, so yes, they are dating at this time.
Okay. But yeah, he pulls out this new picture and he tells the picture that it's okay. He's not mad at her. It's actually smart for her to pretend to ignore him and pretend to not like him and pretend to not want to be near him. So it's very smart of you to pretend to do all those things, Melissa Santos. I love you so much. And the wall I have dedicated to you, this is bad. It's good, but it's bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's uncomfortable. A music box plays as Marty pulls a locket of her hair and starts sniffing at it. And Mariposa walks in immediately here. She catches the sniffing and she's like, what the fuck? She reminds Marty of their father's words, family first. And she accuses him of allowing lust to make him weak. And after she defeats Fénix tonight, it'll be her and Marty into the next round. And Mariposa promises to hurt him. And Marty asks Mary if they remember when they used to play, and he gets a sickening grin on his face. He kisses her, she slaps him, and then Mariposa walks off, presumably to go to her match, the match she has against Fénix tonight, while Marty grabs that pic of Melissa and tells her not to worry. He'll just have to make her, Melissa Santos, via this picture, he'll just have to make her a part of this family too, and then presumably jacks off to the picture. I'm not saying that just to be silly and to start talking about jacking off. Like, there is, like, it's... The shot is suggestive that after the cameras go off, he starts whacking it. I'm not making this up.
Yeah, Melissa, yeah, she's a good-looking woman. She's cool, it seems, but when you have a smoke show like your sister in the room, why would you do that, Marty? It's family first for a reason, okay? Date your sister.
Yeah.
Just in this instance, everyone else do not. But these two, they're perfect for each other. It's like as if they came from the same womb.
James, I'm so sorry I don't have your back on this bit. Because...
And speaking of wombs, oh boy, emerging from the locker room is as if you're emerging from the womb that is the safety, the comfort, into the battlefield that is the real world, aka the ring. We have in such is
Pindar with Cobra Moon versus Masquerita Sagrada. This is our third Cueto Cup round 1 match of the evening. Bell rings, Masquerida's flurry of blows is no match for the bottom of Pindar's boot.
No,
Pindar throws Masquerita around the ring until Masquerita takes a knee out from the large lizard. It's a problem for a little bit. But yeah, Pindar knocks the knee out from the larger opponent and then gets a big string of offense, including a big diving Hurricane Rana through the ropes. Back into the ring, Masquerita continues this offense. Once he starts rolling, he continues to roll. Masquerita, he is a rolling stone. He gathers 0 moss.
He's rocking it. It fucking ruled.
Yeah. Pindar eventually takes control again. He tells referee Rick Knox about it so that he doesn't see Cobra slapping Masquerita. Like a lot of Pindar for a while is like, "Hey, referee Rick Knox, look what I can do," and then Cobra Moon from behind just kicking Masquerita in the skull.
Hell yeah.
Pindar spanks Masquerita.
How dare he?
I know. I can't believe it. In fact, the crowd also cannot believe it. They get behind Masquerita.
Actually,
they say it's, yeah. Wait, what do you mean actually?
Hold on. Actually, it kind of felt like the spank from the previous episode.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say The Slap from the NBC miniseries The Slap.
And I was about to parlay that into holy shit. Like, we could probably do like a The Slap type show, but call it The Spank. Where
We
it's not,
sure could.
It's not about disciplining a child to like spank them. It's about like, you know.
Disciplining Masquerita Sagrada.
Or Tejano.
Or Tejano.
They both realize they love being spanked, so they'll do anything to get their fix.
Yeah, I can't blame them. So the crowd are getting behind Masquerita as he counters Pindar with an around the world again and again and again head scissors. Pindar tumbles out of the ring. Masquerita is dizzy, but he sort of come to's in time to see Cobra Moon just totally ignoring the rules, getting in the ring, being like, hey, fuck you, man. He catches her, though, ducks the first slap, catches the second, and uses her hand to assist him in running up the top rope and then flying off for yet another head scissors onto Pindar outside the ring.
So gnarly.
Very gnarly. And like referees Rick Knox is like, hey, if you actually connected, maybe I disqualify you. We'll never know. We'll never know if referee Rick Knox would disqualify Cobra Moon.
No, I mean she's not in the match, so how would she get disqualified?
Because you can't walk into the ring like Tom Landry. Right, I've been watching Little King of the Hill. Tom Landry, one of the greatest football coaches of all time, he still can't walk onto the field and like trip the quarterback. You can't just walk into the ring while the match is going on.
Yeah, but he's part of that team, you know, like he's the head coach. In this, you know, Cobra's just a bystander outside of the ring.
No, but she's in the ring. She gets in the ring.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, at least in the temple, or I guess in any wrestling. You know, they're fast and loose with these rules.
They're very fast. They're very loose.
This is what I'm saying is, how can she be disqualified in this match that...
Oh.
Yeah.
I meant to say, and I misunderstood, that would be interesting. I would say, no, Pindar would be disqualified.
Oh, okay.
But if we could somehow disqualify Cobra Moon.
I guess from the tournament, she's in a matchup probably.
Probably.
He's like, whoever's up against you gets a bye this week.
I love consequences for actions.
I hate them.
Accountability makes me go silly with joy.
I hate them so much, that's why I'm trying to get in the cabinet of the United States so I can skirt any responsibility whatsoever.
That's smart. That's a good plan.
I'm just going to use it to like download movies and such. Like, I gotta watch this Skateboard Kid, but it's nowhere legally to obtain, so I gotta get it illegally.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Pindar's gotta get back in the ring. Much like you gotta get that Skateboard Kid movie. Pindar starts climbing back in, but Masquerita drop kicks him on his way in, goes up to the top rope. Moonsault connects, pins Pindar, but only for 2. Pindar's like, all right, stop it. Cobra Moon's even like, hey, stop it. Kill him. Pindar, kill him, she says. As he cuts Masquerita off with another big boot, captures the arms for a straight jacket powerbomb X Factor, which if that sounds like a lot, it was. And pins to win the match in 5 minutes and 56 seconds.
And it was gnarly.
Gnarly match. And another lot of, you know what? I'll say it. A lot of gnarly matches tonight.
They're all good.
Blessed with gnarliness as we go to our main event for the evening, the 4th Cueto Cup Round 1 matchup for the evening, the Mariposa versus Fénix.
Who's gonna win? I don't know.
Who's to say? I do know because I already watched this episode, but let's talk about it.
Oh, wait, you're not watching it in real time? That's how I thought you did these. I thought you were like live commentating.
Nah, but thank you for thinking my notes are so messy that it can only be done live.
No, they're
because
so pristine.
Oh, thank you.
I feel the emotion in your soul when you comment on how Pindar spanked Masquerita.
You hear that, fuckers? That's how you leave a comment. That's how you engage with us, the people providing your content. You compliment me whether you mean it or not, because you clearly can see that I could use a win right now.
Yeah, it's better than what you're currently doing, listeners, which is silence.
Yes. Engage with our content.
Please.
Mariposa versus Fénix, Cueto Cup Round 1. Before the match, Melissa blows Fénix a little kiss as he's shaking hands with everyone, kissing all of their babies on his way out. To me, this is another part of like that change, is how much of like, it's almost like he's running for office, is the level of like babyface good guy Fénix is trying to be right now. But I kind of love it. Especially, and I like this specifically this moment, during the Marty match, Marty's trying to blow kisses to Melissa a couple of times, and she's very obviously being like, no. And then the first thing Fénix comes out, Melissa's like, oh, hey, what's up? She looks down and then she looks up and she does a little giggle and she blows the kiss. It's very, very obviously flirtatious. The bell rings as Fénix offers a handshake to Mariposa and she slaps it away. Mary goes for a lockup. Fénix backs her into the corner, offers the hand again, offers another handshake, this time a little more condescending than the first.
It's that confidence he has.
Is that confidence? Mary kicks it away this time. Flurry of strikes from Mariposa gets blocked, ducked, dodged, leaped over by Fénix. Fénix fakes a super kick. Mary pushes him away. Fénix rolls in and finds her jaw with a missile dropkick. Shit was gnarly.
Oh, I think you didn't set this up properly. He goes to kick her and she kind of winces.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And then she tries to grab him and then he like pushes her back and then just like, as she's running past for him, he just jumps as high as he can and just drop kicks her. And it is so funny. It's perfect comedy of like, oh, I'm actually kidding. I'm a lady. I like being kicked. And he's like, yeah, I know that. And if you're going to play like that, I'm going to fucking drop kick your soul out of your body.
He does. It is very cool. Eventually... Sorry. It is a very funny moment. It's very good. Mariposa, now in the corner, blocks Fénix with her kicks before being caught midair. So she adjusts and she splats Fénix with a whirlwind DDT, cover for 2. And it's sort of this moment. So like Fénix was sort of playing with Mariposa. And I like this because then all of a sudden his head gets driven into the mat with that DDT. And, you know, camera sort of zooms back in and he is fucked. He sits back up after the DDT and he's like, oh, I need to, right, Mariposa will murder me because her family is full of murderers if I don't take this match seriously.
He's like, I can't just be having this midlife crisis trying to laugh through the pain of my friend throwing mist into my face, you know?
No, otherwise Mariposa might eat me. I don't know, but they're the two of them, Mariposa and the Moth, Marty Martinez, they both seem to be real fuckers. You know what I mean?
She's going to turn me into mist when she bites me so hard that I spray blood everywhere.
Honestly, their superpowers are still undefined, so maybe.
I mean, that's not a superpower. Like, someone could bite you and you spray blood.
Oh, okay. See, this is me, and I apologize for not listening clearly. I heard bit and like their blood started spraying mist, and then my brain somehow for some reason kept going, and as their neck continues to spray mist, their body slowly turns into mist blood, and then they turn into a cloud and they vanish into the night sky. All things you did not say, but I was just connecting the dots for a constellation that never existed.
Yeah, when Sean was in kindergarten, he would do connect the dots and he'd go, guys, look, it's a dragon. And they're like, that's supposed to be Winnie the Pooh, dude.
What are you doing? And then I got chased out of town on a single horse. A flurry of I already did this part. Shit. On the Mariposa drop kicks Fénix to the outside. She tries to throw him into the ring post. However, Fénix reverses. And again, Mariposa adjusts. Halfway through this reversal, Mariposa adjusts, jumping off of the apron for a head scissors, takes down a Fénix, rolls him back into the ring. Stratisfaction springboard bulldog by Mariposa scores another 2 count. Fénix, now in the corner, ducks behind a charging Mariposa to dump her with a German suplex. Feints the super kick again, same spot as before, and then he ends up holding his leg up as now Mariposa offers a handshake. Fénix considers, then takes the second option to question mark kick her in the head instead.
So cool.
However, he's so cool until he goes for this lax cover. Like, he doesn't really hold down the arms. It's a very lackadaisical, showboaty pin attempt for only 2.
It's a weird this is what I'm saying. Like, Fénix 5 months ago wasn't doing this stuff. Even 5 episodes ago wasn't.
It's a very cocky Fénix, I guess.
Maybe he's been hanging out with that white rabbit tribe a little too much, guys.
All right, now, can you? No, don't check his bags. I beg of you. Fénix goes for a powerbomb. Mariposa counters. Sunset flip covers for 2.5. Fénix gets out, but he is hurt. He is like he needs to take this seriously. And I love it because also after the lax cover, Vampiro is so disappointed. And this is so it feels like when a really clear trope from like a rom-com or something kind of gets fulfilled. I should back up. Vampiro is so disappointed, and he's just like, if you go for these lax covers, you don't take this seriously, is this gonna come back and bite you in the ass? And then immediately it comes back and bites him in the ass. And so it's that sort of feeling of just like, oh man, the trope did the trope. The people in this scary movie entered this scary house by themselves. And it's very comforting, I think, when we watch these, like, whatever sort of genre campiness we watch, and they hit those tropes, and you're just like, oh, it's like a blanket. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's like this moment, I suppose. Vampiro's disappointment in Fénix's lax cover, and it coming back immediately to bite him in the ass.
Ooh.
Love it. A desperation enziguri from Fénix, and Mariposa rolls out. Fénix runs to fly, but Mariposa catches him in between the ropes, sort of on the top rope now. They're fighting. Oh, they're fighting for position before Fénix throws the jumping palm strike. One guy yells, Shoryuken. Fénix takes too long for the follow-up, however, as Mariposa now flies off the top. But Fénix catches her a second time, and this time, Fénix driver to pin and win the match in 5.5 minutes.
Ooh, pinning and winning.
Absolutely. Fénix's opponent after the win, Fénix's opponent for the next round, brother to his fallen opponent tonight, and stalker to his girlfriend. Marty the Moth Martinez comes in to jump Fénix behind.
No!
Oh, I couldn't believe it myself. He was pinning, he was winning, and now he's being jumped? That doesn't even rhyme. James, it doesn't even rhyme.
Pinning, however, he's winning, but now his head is spinning because he got jumped.
Oh shit, it does rhyme. All right, never mind. Marty, please continue. Beat the shit out of Fénix.
Hell yeah.
I apologize for getting involved.
This was like 5 years ago, but he is still beating his ass down.
Yeah, it's a problem. Someone stop him.
This studio is I think it got turned into, like, I don't know, the new Kat Denning show with Tim Allen, switching gears, and you can hear in the background just Marty beating the shit out of Fénix.
I might actually have to start watching Switching the Gears or whatever that new Kat Denning shows with Tim Allen is. If Fénix and Marty are technically guest stars every week because Marty's can be heard in the background beating the shit out of him, I would. I'm trying to justify watching a Tim Allen show, James. You need to stop me.
Adobe had to create a new plugin that was specifically Fénix Cries Remover. And it's like a plugin that you put in an audio track that suppresses the cries of a Fénix.
That's so depressing. But the fact that they're using it means he's not in the show, and I'm not watching Tim Allen again. You did it, James. You saved me from Tim Allen.
And in Adobe had to create one because of, the Dominator. They had to do a dog whimpering suppression.
Oh no.
It's a useful plugin. And not even just for me. Like, sometimes people are like, oh yeah, my dog's crying. Like I have the door closed and the dog hates closed doors. So Adobe was able to sell it to other people, but it's got a fucked up past, okay?
Oh no. This is the end. This is like the end of the movie where you see the villain die, but then the real villain for the next movie shows up, and you're like, whoa, this is like that.
All right, yeah.
Cool, thank you. By the way, Marty does not actually beat up Fénix forever. As it turns out, Fénix kicks the shit out of Marty, throws him outside of the ring. Mariposa is now back at our feet. She's like, what the fuck? She gets thrown out of the ring. Big tornado, leaping tornado from the ring to the outside. Fénix clears everyone out of the way. Fénix standing tall, looking forward to round 2 of the Cueto Cup and his continuing relationship with Melissa Santos.
Ooh.
And you can continue a relationship with us by following these lovely plugs we're about to throw your way right now. Check us out. You can find me over at twitch.tv/GoosefonKaiser, all one word. Having a good time, having a long time, having a bong time. Come get high with me. Can I do that on Twitch?
I think you just can't show it. Like, you can off camera do it, and then you can come back and blow smoke. You could be like, oh, sorry, I guess the fog machine's on too heavy over there.
Hey, come on over. Have fun with the fog machine with me.
Hey, guys, how about you listen to my other podcasts, like Mostly Speaking Sentai, wherever podcasts are found, This Movie's Gay, Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, The Height of Horror, or in this channel, Death to Squids. Ooh, baby. I'm really excited to get back to that. It'd be great if Jose got back to my messages after saying, hey, let's do that next week. And I'm like, when? And then just silence. Let's hear, let's fingers crossed he gets back to me today or tomorrow and we record this week. But also head over to patreon.com/MLMpod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. Don't know what it's going to be this Friday. Maybe another Citizens of Townsville Z, but we'll figure it out, guys, every Friday. Yay, yay. And $10 patrons get all that, plus monthly bonus exclusive content in the form of straight to Patreon. And they get shout-outs on every single free feed podcast. Let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z., The Waz, Orion, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jake, Steve Barnes, a sweet child of time, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, twitch.tv/Core Winning, it's Corwin, from the Rom Complex as well as Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, it's twitch.tv/R2 Shelby 2, and from Speed Radio, a podcast in all things Sonic the Hedgehog, it's Tay, aka Zinny D, and I have been James.
And I have been Sean, and this has been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. Purple Prancer forever, be like Bob.
Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.